That was a heartbreaker, man. That was a heartbreaker. I was highly anticipating, based on the events that were occurring through the last 2 minutes of that game, the clutch moments of that game. We'll put it at that. And when I saw the Raptors play the defense that we all have been touting, not only here on YouTube as Raptors YouTubers, as Toronto Raptors supporters that are bringing you content, bringing Raptors Nation content, so that we can enjoy this team even more, enjoy the successes together, share the success stories, share the sorrows, the miseries, but always have that lingering faith that our team is in good hands. And if y'all haven't seen that Masai Ujiri video that I just posted, then take a look at that, because this one goes out to you, Edward Rogers, before we continue with the box score here. You don't get rid of the best executive in the game because you have some feelings. Now, be it bigotry or racism related, I am not sure. But what I do know, Masai has done nothing but bring a winning culture, winning mentality, unified this city in the most positive way, and that's by winning on a world stage, winning a game that is loved throughout the globe and is continuing to grow. The game of basketball. The NBA recognizes Masai Ujiri. The sports world recognizes Masai Ujiri. He was given an opportunity to go and run a Premier League football franchise. He had offers such as those, lucrative offers. He was told by Edward Rogers, a board member of the Rogers family, which they are the board members that run Rogers Communications. And Mr. Edward Rogers, had the audacity to tell Masai that he wasn't worth the money, the very money that was earned through MLSE, that same money that was given to MLSE, that he earned for MLSE, that same money. He didn't want to give a portion, a large, deserving portion to Masai Ujiri. He had the audacity to tell him that you don't deserve this and you're an arrogant man. Anyone that calls someone else arrogant, in most cases, they are arrogant themselves. It's a form of judgment. You don't say these things out loud. Not directly, you don't. There's a way to play these things. You go investigate. And majority of people that I know, and I know a lot of great basketball minds, they love Masai Ujiri. They would love to have him running their franchise. Ask all 30 teams, all 30 franchises in the NBA, and they would love to have Masai Ujiri running that franchise. You can bet your balls on that. This is not about that. That was just like a part 2, basically, to that first video. But what I'll say is that it all connects, This is very raw. It's a very raw, I can say, wound to my Raptors pride. To our Raptors pride. To many of us, I'm sure we feel this way. Leave a comment down below if you feel this way, to be honest with you, because I want to build this community. I want to build this Raptors community. I want us all to build a web where we can all assimilate and join forces when this team has to face the world, because the team needs its fans. It needs Raptor Nation. A true indication of that was what happened last year in Tampa. The team itself was homesick, and we all know half the team's American anyways. Most of it anyway. We got 3 Canadians on the team this year. Banton, Boucher, and Birch. That's beautiful. Unprecedented. But it feels like we got a bunch of Canadians on this team, doesn't it? Because Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster picked people who believed that they're a part of planet Earth. They're all humans in this league. They're all humans trying to run an organization. And it's the principles of those very organizations that are the key to the future of this NBA that we all love so much. And the minds that run it all look up to Masai Ujiri and co, but mainly Masai, for guidance. I bet you a lot of people read up on what Masai did to bring the Raptors out of the mediocre pile of mud that we were stuck in for decades. And we've only been around for a couple anyways, couple and a half. But now we have a chip. And Masai said that we're going to win this one chip. And now we're going to win another one. Because when he said we're going to win that first one, we actually went on to win it. And I don't doubt him the second time around, because he's done nothing but promise but deliver. Masai for president, baby. Masai for prime minister, rather. But yeah, box score for this one. Look, it was a nail biter. Freddie missed a shot at the end. And it's going to happen. He had a good shot. The crossover was lethal. So Fred VanVleet crosses up his man, gets a great look, and he hits outer opposite side iron. And it was off, and it was game over. It was as quickly as we crawl back into this one after being down for a majority of this one. especially in the second half. And I'm going to say that, yeah, it really, really looked like the Raptors were not even going to come back in this one. And once again, just like last time in Dallas, we showed the resilience, we showed the perseverance to be able to push through adversity. And that's great for a young team. That means the vets on this team are having an effect on the young minds and keeping their spirits up because they're fighting till the very end. And that's going to be so instrumental to the development of Scotty Barnes. Delano Banton's getting minutes, and I'm so happy to be saying that. It does kind of suck for Malachi, but you know, I'm sure he's still developing, and when he's needed, he will be ready, because that's what Nick Nurse, that's what Earl Watson, that's what all these players, that's what all these pieces to our team are actually here to do. And that's to make our players, have our players ready to go when needed. These are professionals, and the Raptors are the epitome of professionalism in terms of being a role model for other franchises and for up-and-coming NBA youth who aspire to one day become NBA players. So all in all, fantastic resilience by the Raptors. This was a nail-biter at the end especially, and unfortunately we could not pull through. We lost by 3 points, 111 to 108. Freddie had 17 assists. So let's get into the box score real quick. Freddie had 17 assists in this one, which was amazing. But he did have a brutal 8 turnovers, especially one towards the end, which cost us a crucial possession. You know, if we had those points, we may have been able to pull this one out. But then also to oppose that, we wouldn't have been that close had we not had his offensive surge towards the end of the fourth there. So he did show a lot of heart, but then there were a couple of decisions that he made that ultimately led us to fumbling the ball, turning the ball over, and then it was lights out, and Chicago was able to sneak away with the win and close out. But otherwise, it was kind of heartbreaking to see, to be honest with you. I won't lie. So for the Bulls, DeRozan had 26 points. He was a +7 for them. He had a great game. He had 6 assists. You know, DeMar had 4 rebounds as well, 10 of 10 from the free throw line. So for fantasy managers, that's really good. You know, he had 10 free throws. Yeah, he was 2 of 4 from 3, which is really good to see that DeMar DeRozan has improved his 3-point percentage. And the fact that he's taking 4 threes, you know, comfortably, that's really good for DeMar. He's expanded his range. He was a mid-range god, as we remember. And he did display that, you know, especially towards the end in crunch time. I mean, he shot a 7 for 19 in this one, so it wasn't that good until the fourth quarter, where he was just butter from mid-range. And that was looking like old DeMar when he was schooling mans, you know, when he was averaging 27 points that one season, 27.9 points or something, 27.5. I don't remember exactly the number, but goddamn, he was on fire that season. Ultimately, we could not pull through in the playoffs with DeMar in that form, but I do miss DeMar. I'm not going to lie. But we did get a chip. So, thank you, Kawhi. I know it sucks in LA right now, but you chose to go there. Anyways, before I ramble on, because I do tend to ramble, Achua, 4 of 12 from the field, not so efficient. 1 of 2 from 3, that's 50%, but it is just 2 threes, but that's good. 11 boards. I love how many boards Achua pulls down. It's amazing, especially because I have him in fantasy. And yeah, that's definitely something that I'm happy about. He had 2 offensive boards in this one, 9 defensive. He had a couple assists, no blocks for him, but he had a couple turnovers. But 11 and 11, so a double-double for Mr. Achua there. Precious is definitely really happy about the minutes he's getting. He wasn't getting that in Miami, as we know. So I'm definitely happy for Precious, and I'm happy that he's developing here in Toronto, because he's definitely a gem that Masai Ujiri, as we know, had on his radar for so long, right? Even when Miami drafted him, I think it was 20th overall, Toronto had their sights set on him. Regardless, Anunoby, 22 points, another really good night from Anunoby after struggling for the first couple games. 8 of 17 from the field, highly efficient. 4 of 8 from 3. That is 50%, baby. Really good. And 2 of 2 from the free throw line. I'm surprised he doesn't get more free throws and go to the line more. But then again, I'm not, because we're Toronto and the refs suss us all the time. We know this. 3 offensive boards, 5 defensive rebounds, 8 boards, 5 assists, 2 steals for Anunoby. Only 2 turnovers in 38 minutes. The man was a monster. +7. Really good. Really good. numbers from Anunoby and a great game. He played amazing defense. A couple of those steals were in crunch time. I was just really impressed with all the Raptors defense. Like the potential for these guys is immense. Scottie Barnes with another solid game in terms of numbers, but he did struggle with turnovers. He had 6 turnovers, so he's got to clean that up. He's been really good with not turning the ball over, but perhaps, you know, these are just some rookie growing pains that we're just gonna have to suck up for now. And I think Scottie Barnes is worth just bearing those pains because he's gonna be a hell of a monster. Now the league is taking notice. Now the league is like, oh yeah, we doubted Messiah again, didn't we? I don't know what they expected. Like what did they expect? Like Scottie Barnes to be what? Just an average player? Or like why would you like, I mean, if I'm looking at Suggs' performance right now as a rookie, even demeanor wise, like Scottie Barnes, I want Scottie Barnes on my team. I ran with him on 2K the other day, 76 overall, dude. 76 overall. And I was my boy, and like, yo, I'm like, this guy's OP. His archetype is like different. When they up his ranking, he's gonna be one of the most unstoppable players in 2K. Mark my words. Go try it, Toronto Raptors. Put Scottie Barnes on point guard. If you know how to dribble, trust me, yo. And if you know what you're doing, just go in with Scottie Barnes right now. Don't shoot too much, but trust me. And he's not bad with free throws either. He was a -10 in this game, so not very efficient, as I said. That's probably because of those 6 turnovers. But he was 6 of 8 from the field, which is very good. He shoots efficiently, and I'm very impressed with him. The 11 of 17 game, his career high game, was also highly efficient. His first game was efficient, 12 when he had 12 and 9. I don't remember the exact field goal percentage, but yeah, like I'm just going off the top of my head. And the other game as well, when he had 17 and 8, like, you know, so he's really, really shaping into what we already envisioned for him very quickly before our eyes. He had 1 offensive rebound. He had 3 defensive rebounds. That's 4 rebounds. He had a steal block, 13 points to go with that. And he was 0-1 from 3. He didn't shoot 2 threes this time, but hey, I bet you if he did, he would have made 1 because he's been shooting 1 or 2 from 3 for a bit now. Van Vliet. Freddie. 17 assists, 8 turnovers. That's where it killed us. 15 points. He was good, but those 8 turnovers, he's got to like settle it down. He's got to establish his veteran presence and calm down. I think that's why Nick Nurse is bringing Jura6ix in, because he can orchestrate a little bit more soundly because his mind is clear. I feel like Fred VanVleet has something on his mind on some nights, and some nights he's just in the zone. I know it's like that for a lot of these players, but Freddie, if you're gonna if you're gonna be in the all-star conversations like we all anticipate you to be in, then you're gonna have to up it to a level where you're consistent in your emotions and the psyche in which you are in before you approach games, my friend. All right, my brother. And Gary Trent Jr., 18 points. He had no turnovers. He had 5 boards. He had no steals, no blocks, but regardless, 7 of 15, 4 of 9. I'm taking that from Gary. He had 4 boards. Like, yeah, really good. 1 offensive board. He had an assist. Really good, man. I'll take that from Gary, especially given all the duds that he was given in preseason. It was kind of scary. But yeah, Gary, I'm impressed with. Chris Boucher didn't play much, 5 minutes. He was 1 of 2 from 3. 2 offensive rebounds, 2 defensive rebounds. But he was a -10, so I think the intangibles for him were not clicking. It looks good on the box score, but the team was losing when he was on the court. So he was taken off quickly, I guess, by Nurse. He recognized that quick. Can't do that against a team like Chicago. All that veteran presence and youth combination that they have. Kem Birch had a great game. 19 minutes, 5 of 7 from the field, 1 of 2 from free throw, and he had a couple boards. He had an assist, and that's pretty good for Birch. He had 11 points as well. That's really good. I like that. A couple more boards would have been nice from Birch, but those are good numbers from him. Highly efficient. Goran was 6 of 6 from the 3-point line. From the free throw line rather. He was 0 of 3 from 3. Completely different than what I just said. Field goal, 1 of 6 from field goal. His field goal percentage was not good. He was 1 of 6 from field goals for his field goals, and he did grab an offensive rebound. He had 4 boards, so 3 of those were defensive. He had a steal, and he was a +5. So I guess that's why he got a few more. I mean, he had only 14 minutes, so I mean, hey, 8 points for Mr. Jura6ix. And he's been so-so. Banton, he had a couple points. He was a +4. I like the fact that Banton's getting minutes. I'm very happy about it, even if it was just 5 minutes. But the fact that he's on the court, it's just great. And I know that there'll be some nights where he's going to really be key and an X factor. If y'all agree with me on that, please do comment down below. Mihailuk, he was 2 of 2 from the field. He played 13 minutes, 1 of 1 from 3. He was a +3 at 5 points. I'm not sure why he didn't play more, because he's highly efficient. He had a couple offensive rebounds and a defensive board. Maybe it was matchups. Maybe it was something to do with that. But Nick Nurse would know more than I would. That's why he gets paid the big bucks. And at the end of the day, on Chicago's side, I'll get back to Lonzo Ball. He had 15 points. He had 4 turnovers. Not so efficient there. 2 steals, a block. He had 5 assists. He had 3 boards, and he was 5 of 11 from the field, 5 of 9 from 3. DeRozan, once again, I already mentioned his stats. Vucevic, 8 of 15 from field goal, 0 of 2 from 3, and 1 of 2 from free throws, 17 points. And Levine had 22 points. He had a steal. He had 5 assists. He had 4 rebounds, 5 of 5 from free throw, 3 of 7 from 3-point range, field goal 7 of 16. And Troy Brown Jr. had a pretty decent game for them too. He had 11 points on 5 of 9 shooting. That's pretty good. Couple offensive rebounds too. And the reason I'm mentioning all these stats to you guys is make fantasy videos as well. So if y'all want to check those out, those are usually released on weekends, either Friday or Sunday. Okay. And other than that, it was heartbreaking. Yes, it was. But the future looks very bright, as I say every night, for these Raptors. So as a Raptors fan, I'm very proud. I'm very honored to be a part of Raptors Nation. If y'all are new here, this is a new channel, so please support us. We would really appreciate it by hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, so that we can get more exposure because of that YouTube algorithm, which requires us to get those 2 components so that more people can enjoy Raptors content such as this. So if you did enjoy this, please do share, please do like, please do comment. You know what to do. I don't need to tell you guys. Support us, and we'll support you by getting you the best Raptors content on YouTube. With that being said, let's go Raptors. We got the Pacers on Wednesday. I did ramble on a lot more than I wanted to in this one, but it was all because I love my team, and I know y'all do too, especially if you stuck around this long. With that being said, have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.